to it. It's the last game. We've seen a lot so far of the qualifying brackets. This is the last game in the qualifiers. After this, we move to the groups. The groups.
All the same.
Yeah, on the 25th, we start all that. But it is Dignitas versus X Gamers 2, now Dobry&Gaming.
Dobry.
Did I get it wrong again? Come on.
Come on. You can get there.
Oh, my
We've got all night to work on this.
See, I think I had it right, and then I got confused again right before we went live, and then I got it wrong again. Dobry&Gaming, like, their sponsor's going to reach out to me and be like, you're never allowed to cast us again. Like,
Right. So, looking at the matches yesterday, obviously Dignitas had a pretty easy run against Aftermatch. Although Aftermatch were pretty decent, they had some good fragging potential. They just weren't on the same level. They're a couple of tiers behind Dignitas, I'd say.
that game was actually close, though, in terms of exchanges. Like,
Exactly.
if you look
So
at the fragging, it was actually, like, very even.
So the scoreline didn't do it justice as to how good the game was, right? So most of the rounds came down to one-on-one situations that Dignitas took the majority of, but those guys had some great players, and I think it was Freddie was the standout player.
Yeah, Freddie was nuts.
And then going into the DNG Peter game, that was kind of interesting. I didn't expect that one to go to 3 maps especially. So we had Cobble first. Peter stepped up, and they actually looked a lot stronger. DNG got the first 5 rounds on the board, and then all of a sudden, Peter came back and won the T side of Cobble, we remember. And then it looked like DNG had completely shut down, and nothing was ready for them after that. But we moved on to Cash. We moved on to Mirage after that, and that's when Peter started to fall apart. If you remember.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
When that T side.
Yeah.
That was their pick.
I think it was 16-5 on Mirage specifically.
Yeah, it was their pick, and their T side was just abysmal. It was horrible. So it seemed like DNG really pulled away from that one. So they bounced back.
I was really, to go back to that Cobblestone game, very impressed with Peter in specific, because the game on Cobble started off like the other two did, where it was very one-sided. It looked like it was going to be very straightforward in terms of the fact that DNG were the better team. But all of the sudden, on round 6, Peter picked up one round by throwing out a smoke on platform at B, and then they used the little gap between the box and the smoke round after round, and there was no answer from DNG. And I thought, okay, the series could be the other way around, and then it came back. Then they answered it. But, yeah, we'll look at also, so just bring up the tournament format as well. The group stages and how it all works out. So, again, this is the last qualifier. Winner of this goes into the final group, the last black square, the one that still says winner. That would be obvious. So Group 1's already done. We saw that qualifier about a week ago, I guess now it was. Not even. I think it was at the start of this week, so about 4 days ago that
NA
finished.
as well.
That's right. So Luminosity, CLG, Team Liquid, and Method qualified out of the U.S. qualifier. TSM, Navi, Virtus Pro, and Kingwin made it in from the EU qualifier number 1. And then, of course, in the second one, we're about to await the winner. It's either Dignitas or...
Go on, say it.
See, now you messed me up again. I was sure I had it. Dobry&Gaming.
Yes, nice.
Yes. Fnatic, Team Envious, Titan, and then one of the two. So, and then, of course, for the LAN, one of each group moves forward. The European remainders are then thrown into one giant group for a last chance to qualify for the single spot this year. Last year, there was 2 spots in the last chance. This year, there's only 1.
That's going to be an exciting playoff. Like, you just look at the two, especially the 2 European groups we have. There's so many top teams there. It's going to be such amazing games. I can't wait till the actual group stage begins. It's going to be really cool.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think it's going to be... last year, this league threw out some really interesting scorelines, not only in the group stages, but the LAN was, tons of cool games. The 69 overtime game with Nip and Envious, TSM winning their first event, VP not even making it through to the LAN, just missing out on the last chance. So, and Fnatic actually looks like they were struggling the entire tournament long. They were the last team of the 4 to make it through in the last chance qualifier. So there was some cool stories. We'll look at Vulcan. Now, I'm still carrying over the team last night. That is punishment. So what actually happened was I was slightly late getting to the studio.
Slightly late.
I was slightly late getting to the studio.
That's a loose word to use, but okay.
And therefore, the production staff trolled me accordingly. But here's your team. It's not looking too bad.
Well, to be fair, it did look quite bad because I was 54 out of 60, I think, with this team yesterday. So
yeah,
it didn't go too well, to be honest.
In comparison, though.
In comparison to you, yeah, sure. But I don't even know how I did this badly. But yeah, looking at my team, we've got Pimp, KRB, Nico, obviously the Dignitas boys. So I'll be hoping they step up tonight. But on the other side of the table, we've got Michu, Innocent, Manice. And the last 2 players, obviously, from the 2 teams yesterday, don't go through to today. My star players yesterday, I think KRB with my shot caller had a pretty quiet day. He didn't really step up to his usual godlike levels, so he didn't really pull it off for me. But Nico was good, actually. And I think Michu had some really big rounds as well. So although I think I could bounce back today. I guess it depends who steps over.
You've got 6 players playing. I mean, that's the first thing in the comeback.
That's the most I can possibly have, right? From this final,
Yep.
I couldn't have any more players.
No, you could not.
So hopefully KRB steps up today, and I can bounce back and maybe get a little bit higher in the table. But we'll see. But the main event.
Do we even need to look at my? I don't even think we do.
I know. Well, actually, you've got 2 players still.
I got 2.
Yeah.
You have 6.
Well, let's just have a look.
Oh God.
Let's see where you lie.
I don't. I was dead last in the league that I was in, if you remember correctly. Here it is. I've got Martin, who's not playing. Freddie was my shot caller. At least we had a decent shot caller.
Yeah.
Off of Aftermatch. Dopplet, not playing. Facecrack, not playing. Dursky, not playing. JMQ, also not bad last night, not playing. Nico Careby, come on, boys. I need you to get 40 frags each.
Yeah, that would save you.
Not a single player from D&G.
And you take the victory. But yeah, so obviously I think tonight I am going to win, but it's a hollow victory considering the circumstances.
No, I think it's fair.
Yeah?
The punishment fits the crime.
You were very late, so.
Yeah, we're not going to talk anymore about this team. But well done to the production boys. They definitely got me good with that one. You're definitely going to win this. If you want to play Vulcan, go over to Vulcan.com, PGL_Season1.
It's a fun thing to do. I haven't done it before until this tournament. I'm learning every day.
It actually is kind of interesting because
it's like if you go on like CSGO Lounge or one of those sites, right? You only get to bet on the team.
Right. That's exactly what I was going to say.
It's a lot more tactical. You actually have to do your research and look into who's playing well at the moment, who's going to be the best on the certain maps and the matchups they're facing, and then you go even deeper. You have to consider what weapons they use and all that sort of things, right? So that's why it's a lot more fun. And if you're really into your CS, I think this is the more.
Oh, dude, way more. Like it's rather than A versus B, it's a complexion of multiple players, and and not only that, I find, and it doesn't change like any particular bias necessarily that I have when I'm casting, but like even other games that I watch that I put in or like that I am casting, I'll be like, oh, that guy really is doing well. Like, yes, I called that. Like it feels good, and then I still lose. But we'll take a break. We'll come back. That's usually what happens. Hi to the YouTube Twitch chat, apparently. So we'll take a short break. The teams are still in the veto process right now. They may have just finished that. I haven't got an update yet, but we will go live with map 1. Now, remember, we didn't mention it. It is a best of 5 this evening as well.
That's where it gets a little bit interesting, I guess. I think looking into Dobry's map pool just quickly, apparently they're going to definitely veto Inferno.
Right.
So that's all the info I have. Apart from that, so Dignitas, you have to favour them, obviously, in the best of 5. They are the better team going into this. But, yeah, maybe we can talk a little bit more before we go in live. We'll discuss how we think it's going to go down.
Yep, absolutely. So we'll see you in a couple minutes, guys. Well, just like that, we're ready to go. We're ready to rumble. I've got my mic like a mile away from my mouth. What am I doing that for? I don't know why I do that. That's so weird. We're ready to jump into it. You've seen the maps. We're going to look at the rosters first, but then we'll talk about the 5 out of 7 that we're going to be playing.
I've seen the maps.
You've seen the first one.
I've seen the first one, yeah.
I thought you said you saw them all. I'm sorry. But we'll look at Dignitas' roster. Dignitas, like you said, with the stronger map pool, kind of come into this one as the favorite. I'm interested to see what the odds will be in this particular matchup. Why don't you run us through this beautiful group of people?
MSL, Pimp, AZ, Nico, KRB. So yesterday, looking at we talked about Pimp and KRB being the important factors there, and they're the ones that are going to step up. But I think it was actually AZ and MSL who were the big players yesterday, going for the huge plays, pushing around. And AZ, like, I've underestimated how good he can actually be watching him yesterday. Like, he's really explosive player.
He's great.
He's very good at lurking around. He's good at clutching as well. So I've enjoyed watching him the last couple of days. I haven't really paid that much attention to him in the past. So I think he really has stepped up. Nico has been a point for discussion recently. He got a lot of criticism the last couple of events he's been at, saying that he potentially isn't good enough to be a top-level AWPer at the moment, but it seems like he really has stepped up to the plate recently. Yesterday wasn't an amazing day for him, but it was very consistent, made the shots he had to. KRB as well, obviously the boy wonder of the team.
This guy's got so much good accuracy.
Yeah, he seems like he's a player that really can go crazy, or he can be quite quiet. Yesterday, for me, he was quite quiet, but you can never take anything away from him. Then moving on to Dobry&Gaming.
Yeah. And 2 national teams, by the way, incomplete. So obviously one Denmark and one Polish lineup.
Yeah, so we got Manice, Innocent, Michu, Spiro, and Lord. A lot of 1.6 pedigree within this team. The standout players, obviously, Michu, I think. He's been stepping in for VP at recent events. He's like considered a top-tier player, but maybe a little bit below his sort of caliber in this team, I'd say. Maybe I think he's a very strong player, but Manice yesterday for me stepped up a lot. He was getting some very important frags, stepping up especially on Mirage as well. Lord, going back, a very old school 1.6 player. He's can step up anytime as well. So we can have a look at the matchup as well, I think.
Yeah, and the matchup will be, of course, Pimp going up against Michu, because yesterday, again, although you said Pimp didn't necessarily step up as expected, he has been one of the better players for them, without a doubt. And Michu, since he's come into this G2 lineup, has been on fire. And I don't think I've seen more than 1 or 2 games when he hasn't delivered as expected.
Only 18 years old as well. I remember when I was 18. A long time ago. So there we go.
I wish I was still 18.
We can have a look at this is the performance average performance per match. So you can see the kills slightly favouring Michu there, but obviously we've always talked about the stats are a little bit misleading sometimes because it all depends on who you're playing, what tournament you're in.
I mean, I think the player stats are more indicative than the one we've been showing on the head-to-head for maps. It's still they're still interesting to look at just from like a straight up, how that team is in one situation type of thing. But again, it's skewed based on skill. But I think these ones are a little bit more representational, given that these guys are both kind of tier 2. They've played some of the similar teams. But yeah, it's interesting to look at Michu having 22 average kills. That's pretty ridiculous when you think, because that's an average.
So even on the games he's losing, he's still putting in a strong performance, isn't he? So yeah, that's pretty interesting stuff. So I think I'm gonna throw out a spoiler there. I'm gonna say Dust2 is gonna be the first map, but we are gonna look at the bans and picks right now. So looking at this, I assume it's Dignitas that picked Dust2. Yeah, there it is. So they picked Dust2, and that's what I said. DNG getting rid of Inferno. So that's the map. Apparently, they always get rid of. They never play it. And first ban from Dignitas as well, Train. That's interesting.
Yeah, Diggy took out Train.
So
we never saw it in their map pool last night either. It didn't get into that best of 3.
So first map will be Dust2 going into D-Cash as well. That's been a theme for this tournament. We've seen a lot of Dust2 and Cash. Obviously, the classic maps so far in CSGO seems like the vanilla sort of 2 maps everyone wants to play.
Yeah, Inferno, I think actually still, although I think in the last month it may have changed hands. I'd have to look at it again. But last I looked, Inferno was still number 1 played competitively, and Cash. And I think it was split between Mirage and Dust2 after that.
Well, here we go. This is the chance to win. So, first map, Dust2. Looks like Dignitas has quite heavily favoured to win that one. 59% to 41%. I think that's kind of fair. I think that's got about the right percentage for all the maps, to be honest, considering the lineups we've got. I think there's obviously a chance DNG could upset, get a few rounds in a row, and potentially take one map off them. But I see the best this they can hope for, I think, is a 3-1.
I do agree that Cash is 100% 50-50 between these two teams. Dust2, we've seen it time and time again, the way Dignitas do play that map. Both Danish teams actually really like it. TSM obviously being the other one I'm referring to in this case. Cobblestone, after yesterday, I can't disagree with that. So if it gets to the 5th map, after what we saw from DNG's CT side, I cannot even defend. They have to do a lot to prove that they've got a Cobblestone game back to me. But, it's interesting that Overpass goes against Dignitas.
Yeah.
Considering TSM have been favoring it lately.
Well, we watched them yesterday, I think, on Overpass. They looked pretty strong, but I was obviously against Overmatch. So you can't...
Aftermatch.
Sorry.
It's
Aftermath.
Okay. I mess up one name, you mess up the other.
So there we go. Yeah, they looked strong there, but it's difficult to actually get a realistic gauge on how well that went for them when you're playing a team that's lower skill than you, I guess. But yeah, obviously Dust2, good thing to kick it off with. Nice arena-style map, a lot of fragging involved. Dignitas can be very strong on this map. It just depends where they get going. Nico is obviously going to be an important factor, I think, whether he can get rolling. But looking towards Dobry&Gaming on this map, they're all very heavy aim players. They could cause an upset if they find out an exploit. Maybe I imagine their T side is going to be pretty pick-based as well. Like watching what we saw on Cobble yesterday, like they played a very slow game. Wasn't much in terms of set pieces as such. So this could be a map that works out for them. It's normally a double-edged sword in Dust2. If you are finding your picks and you're hitting your shots, you don't really have to employ any sort of tactics as such. You just work as a team, play off each other's synergy. But if it's going wrong and you're not finding those picks and you're getting shut down by the CTs pushing you, for example, then that's when you need to kind of react and work out how you can actually exploit the CT setup. So this one will be pretty interesting. We won't be having a knife run, obviously. This will be...
yeah, exactly. So it's whoever picks the map, obviously the other team picks the side. So like you said, no knife until we get to map 5. If we get to map 5. I don't think we're getting to map 5.
What do you think? Where do you think this is going in terms of the scoreline then? I said 3-1 in favour of Dignitas.
Yeah, I was going to say 4 is always a safe bet. So if we're going 3-1, what map do you have them picking up Cash?
I don't know. I didn't really think about it that far. I guess Cash, if there's going to be anything. I think maybe Dust2 could be the anomaly here, just because it's the first map of the day, maybe.
It is like an open map. It's one that's very hard to read. Okay, so we've got the predictions on screen. EG bets coming in with 1.133 to 4. So pretty favorable in Dignitas. CSGO Lounge, no different, 83% to 17. But bring on my favorite one. We still have esports gaming. So my apologies.
You like those guys as well.
They are my favorite one. See, I wasn't lying. 1.1 to 4.3. That's actually almost identical. There it is. You never let me down.
So they think D&G are going to take this.
You never let me down. Ever, Twitch. You're the best.
What do you think about that?
Azubu and Hitbox wishes they could be you. I think that's pretty hilarious.
That's what you think about it. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, I think 3-1's favorable, but seeing the maps as I did. So if you think Dust2 is the anomaly, I think Cash could be the anomaly.
Okay. Well, I just think just because it's the first map of the day and things could start going wrong, clutches may start slipping away from them. It depends. I know Dignitas. I really like their CT setup. I think it's really cool, but their T side I haven't seen too much of, so it'll be interesting to see how they approach the map on this, especially against a team that could be surprising them with a lot of picks. But yeah, it's just be going underway. All 10 players on the server now. Maybe just waiting for the little ready up to come in. Didn't even notice we've actually got some CSGO pins today as well.
Yeah,
so that's,
they're pretty dope.
I've been wanting to get one of these for the last 6 months. Since I saw Underground on 20
in general, yeah.
Yeah. So
he had to buy a new blazer after that. You know that, right?
Or he just ruined it.
He stabbed it so many times that it was like fraying. I saw him. What event did I cast with him? I think it was Star Ladder, and he wasn't wearing it. And I was like, or he wasn't wearing the pins. He was wearing the blazer, and I was like, man, that thing is destroyed. He's like, yeah, I didn't think that part through. So.
Well, I'm just gonna limit myself to 1 right now, instead of 15 or whatever he had. But yeah. Exciting times. It means you're officially a CSGO caster when you get one. It's like your initiation.
I've made it, Mom. Get the camera. Do it, Mom. So as we see it, it will be Dobry&Gaming that's starting out on the CT side. Dust2, I don't know if there's much of an advantage that you can call here. It's obviously a lot more even. In fact, last night we saw it being heavily T side.
It depends what side the team's more comfortable on. They're always going to have a side they're better on.
Sure.
So that it's not really a sense of it's a CT-sided map or a T-sided map. It's what the team plays better on. So it seems like D&G favour themselves in CT. Perhaps they've got some surprise pushes, some nice setups they can employ to stop mid rushes and stuff like that. So let's see how this goes down. Pistol, obviously, always very influential. Let's take a quick look at the buy from Dignitas. They've got 4 players on armor. MSL is going to have that smoke and 2 flashbangs. 4 players heading towards the B tunnels, and it's going to be your man MSL on the other side of the side. Looks like probably a mid split coming in.
And they're going to get nearer to the doors. Nico takes a little glance through, realizing though just now that no one's home, so he'll start to push. Now AZ and Kierby are going to join in with it. Michu's the one that has to drop. He was on the ledge at Catwalk, but as he does, there's a smoke to prohibit it. Maniz. Oh, man, he almost blocked it with his body. Now he realizes they've got in, and it's AZ that takes down Spiro when Nico can find Maniz. If he even was
MSL,
like a little bit to the right, they could have kissed each other, but you're dead right. MSL stood back, as we see so commonly, to wait for that smoke to dissolve and let the rotations walk forward into the crosshairs. 19 HP and 11 for Innocent. This is not looking good. Kirby and AZ, they got the first 2 kills. They're both low. But Kirby doesn't bother paying attention to that. He's going to take down Innocent. It's left to Lord.
So yeah, MSL had that crazy moment. You had 3 people in front of your screen and only a Glock to do the damage with. So, if you take down one and you don't insta-kill the other 2, you're kind of done for in that situation. But like I said, Team Dignitas, as soon as they did that setup and you see one player kind of scouting towards long, he's listening for setups and we're trying to work out what the CTs are doing. They worked out the map, so the CTs weren't being too aggressive. The CTs did have 2 people on shore, but they didn't really commit to it. They just went for the initial rush and then fell back. Mid-split came in, like you said. No one was really resisting in middle at all. They had the CT smoke down, went into the bomb site, ran into each other actually, and they made the first 2 frags. They went to the bomb site. If you get the first 2 and the bomb goes down, very little chance of a retake. So pretty simple stuff from Dignitas. No force buy from D&G though. They're going to go PT50s, 1 Deagle as well. But you can see MSL with the Mac 10 going to be looking around the map, seeing what's available to him. But we have got a scout as well on Nico.
MSL waiting for that flat. Didn't go far enough. Nico, work out that throwing arm. Second one will. That allows MSL to get inside the doorway now. Looking for 2, and I'm surprised he actually picked up Michu. That was the very last bullet in the mag.
It's because they don't have armor. If they had armor, he would have died there. But
either way, now it's going to be Pip who comes back in. Pimp, obviously, taking down Spiro. There was a kill, 2 rather, against MSL and AZ. Those both came from Innocent. He's still alive, but as I say that, he will go down to KRB, and it's going to be left to Maniz to try and salvage what he can from around, potentially knock down more guns. 2 guns, not too bad, but it was an SMG they dropped. They keep the AKs up, and now they'll move into round 3, and I imagine Dobry is going to sit back on the income this time.
That's the whole reason you send a Mac 10 out middle, because he can get the information. He's pretty likely to make a kill as well. Even if he dies, you only sacrifice the Mac 10. It's not really much the CTs can do with that, even if they took it to the next round. Against head armor, it's pretty useless. So it's a really smart tactic they're doing. You see MSL actually buying that again for exactly the same purposes. Him and Nico just really scouting out certain areas, getting information, and then the AKs can follow back and come into the bomb site with them and then get the no-sell kill. Exactly the same tactic looks like it's going to come through. And the same position from Lord as well. It's kind of interesting you do that.
I wonder if they're actually showing that first short flash on purpose just to pop differently, so it's not as visible, because they did the exact same thing, and MSL gets the exact same result. Different victims this time.
Yeah.
It's not Michu, it's Innocent, but he actually manages to stay alive and take it one further, picks up the hat trick on Spiro. But here comes the interesting fact. The first gun round, we'll see an op go right to Maniz. He's got chest plate of armor with it. Kevlar, I know it's not a real plate, it's not Dungeons and Dragons.
So they didn't force buy at all in this. They actually get an AWP going into the first gun round, which is so important. So many teams don't do this. So this could be good for the CTs, allow them to get some early rounds and be a bit of momentum. They can set the AWP up into the B bomb site and then fall back from there. But it looks like a long take from Dignitas.
Kirby's being very aggressive, needs to be weary of the fact that there is company on his right side and he's not able to react fast enough. It's Innocent to pick up 2. So a very early lead in the round for Dobry&Gaming. As this flash will slow down MSL as well as he looks onto the platform from Catwalk. Lord going to push up from below and actually get that kill on the boxes. So bye-bye MSL. You can call from the side. Strat caller, in-game leader, has to sit out and watch his teammates do the rest. It's Pimp and Nico that he'll be observing. And another smoke will bloom in long from the CT side of it, so that'll be put out in the alleyway itself. Good reaction shot from Nico. Knew Innocent was still at that car and perhaps overstayed his welcome a little bit, but now they've got also a read on the fact that they're working back out long. And I like how Pimp's still playing this because he knows there's a good chance they're going to be wrapping onto that flank. But the fact that Dobry's not going to overextend and just sit back and turtle on this bomb site with just the single player to make sure they can't escape from long.
Yeah.
They got this pretty much sealed up well. A nice shot by Nico. Potentially more. Is there Pimp? This is actually doable now. It's left to Michu. If he had to hit that shot on Michu, it comes 2-on-1 the other way, and the last player's at long. So the bomb was in a position to be played out. Good save on the round by Michu in that sense.
So Dignitas on that round, they won the first 3 pretty cleanly. When you go into the 4th round, you know the CCs are going to be struggling a little bit for cash. They did a little bit the Hail Mary play, 4 players out on the long take, and this play from Innocent was actually really good. The CT player in spawn took away all the attention. He pops out, picks up 2 huge frags, and blocks the round down. Dignitas did pretty well to get back into that, but ultimately, a nice round from the CTs and a good start to their campaign. Tees will bounce back with another buy though. Nico again with the AWP. Not even a glass cannon. He's got the AWP and armor as well. So the economy is not too bad for them, but enough slowing it right down now, working the pick. And they'll probably do something a little bit more methodical. As you said that though, AZ picks up the first frag onto Spiro. And interesting why he's facing there when he's only got a rifle, bro.
It's pretty impressive that he got that shot in general, just in the fact that he did get tagged up down to 14. And Nico's going to follow up by taking down Maniz. So one gun round, not enough due to the efficiency that the terrorists had. Lord gets aggressive, might be able to pull off one knot. That flash just enough to deter him on that second angle. We'll see Nico's replay now of that shot through mid-doors. But they're working into B right now. And there is going to be Michu looking at that smoke. He times it right, and Nico turns around. A bit of an overreaction, perhaps panicking in the fact that Michu was working inside middle because he was the second player to fall at window if he'd continued forward any further. Kirby knows exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
The young, quick-witted brain will come back around and take down Michu. Innocent getting the nade on Nico, so killing a teammate. He'll sit outside of the fight for the rest of it. Michu gives justice, but it's going to be Pimp to give the round.
Yeah, an existence style lurk there from KRB, dropping down to CT spawn from short, catches the CTs with their pants down, and gets himself an easy frag. What was interesting for the CTs there, that was actually a really clean, really clean shot.
I didn't expect it to be that clean at all.
The CT's facing Spiro, facing that angle when you've only got M4. You might as well be just typing kill in console. It's an angle you don't face until you know this. The team, especially if you have no information on the map, teams got to hold middle for as long as they can just to get some information. And why you just face that for no reason really was pretty dumb in my opinion. But down he goes, and that's winning one round and losing the one after. They're going to be on a full eco again. Spiro's been tagged, and Maniz follows him down with a death. and this should be a pretty simple round for Dignitas now. Again, holding this mid area. Even when they get the frags, they're not overcommitting to anything. They're waiting to see how the CTs react. And that's the reaction, and another kill coming in from AZ.
Yeah, this is working out well now for Dignitas. 5 alive. Those of you North Americans, you'll remember that that was a juice drink at a time.
We had that in the UK as well.
Did you?
Yes.
The more you know. It's AZ now to take down Lord. Curious to know where else you might have had it. If you've had 5 alive in your nation and we didn't just mention it, please tweet me. I'm very curious now. As this anti-eco due to expire at any moment, as KRB now getting onto Spiro. Innocent, the last alive, has a deagle, so potential he could do some collateral damage, but oh, there it is. AZ with the 1 deag. That's exactly the shot I was talking about. And on that note, thank you very much. I've got my highlight moment. I'm going to run away and hide. Twitch chat can call back, and we'll wait for the next round to start.
Vac or bot, choose one.
Back bot.
Vac bot. There we go. Innocent, like I said, has got 1 frag, hasn't got armor. There's no real point in him trying to survive this. If we can take 1 more down with him, that'd be genius, but not to be. MSL takes him down, and I think that's actually 2 in a row for Dignitas now. So 5-1 in total. This is going in. This is their map, so you expect them to take this one. Nico again with the AWP. CTs, they're on a double eco here. You can see the money. It's pretty bad news for them. After winning 1 round and losing the round subsequent after that, it's put you in a very difficult position. You can't really afford to buy or force buy Famases on CT Dust2. It's just not strong enough against a full terrorist buy. But they haven't. Oh, they have stacked. They've got 4 players towards long. That's quite good. But Dignitas going in to be the hell situation for Dobry&Gaming.
Pimp's already through that mid door as well, and his position is almost perfect to catch the rotation. I'm surprised that there hasn't been a turnaround from Spiro, who now knows he's in trouble, but that's why he doesn't, because he knows his teammates are close by. Lord now picking up an AK. That might be an invitation to leave, but Spiro gives him a reason to stay as he finds 2 kills. Lord's still gone. He's already bailing out and going home. He's back to T-spawn, or is he? I'm not 100%. Yeah, he's going to look for exits. Okay, this makes a little more sense now, but that was impressive by Spiro. If that came a little bit sooner and Lord hadn't already committed to leaving the battle, they might have gone for it.
Well, with no kits and 2 players alive, I think...
And still inside the site, too.
Exactly.
Right.
The fact that they've saved 2 AKs now, that's really good for their economy. We've seen it's been really affected. The fact that they can save $3.5 grand next round on having to buy those guns, that will help them out a lot. We said that the Lord does go down, but saving 1 AK is good. You see, that's going to boost things up a little bit. Dignitas now, they're in a position they can do another Hail Mary play. They know they've got the CTs against the ropes. They'll be trying to adapt to what they're doing, so I would be suggesting let's do something fast again. They've got decent B spawn again. Let's see what they do with it, but something fast perhaps. Maybe the CTs will react and try and boost up short or something like that, but see how this goes down.
For that pre-fire shot at mid is Nico. Only 1 crossing, as we've just seen, so that does leave a 3-1-1 position right now for the CTs, but it's that initial push to long with 2 fall back. Lord will be the man that now swings into CT spawn to strengthen this middle from the CT side. And it's MSL and AZ that will come against it. But as I say that, they look to change their attention onto the catwalk, which now means Lord is in the position where he needs to read this play almost perfectly because it puts so much pressure on Michu. And Michu's playing on the platform, or rather near it, on the ramp, I should say, by the boxes, as we see with an M4, not an op. So not necessarily the same amount of damage when they walk around this corner. Spiro trying to get cheeky here.
He's in that AZ spot.
Oh, he spotted. He has to have seen Nico. I'm sure Nico may have seen him back. Nico instead looks at Lord, so he doesn't. He is looking just over to the left, but now Spiro knows he's there and spotted up. It's MSL. He just saw him before the smoke went out, and unfortunately that left Spiro with very little movement on top of the box and very little options to kill him back. So Dignitas finding all the kills required to start this off. This is the start they definitely want. And Desire, it's going to be Michu to get AZ, so they won't make it a flawless victory, but they've now got the bomb down on the B side, and based on Innocent's position, I think we've pretty much come to the conclusion together on what is going on now.
That was kind of weird. Spiro on that box, the whole idea of that position, you can see over the smoke in CT spawn, you can at least see the doors going into B. I'm not sure whether Dignitas have a smoke that counters that. Maybe they specifically put one down and cuts him out of the game, but him being up there was no point for him to push round because he just kind of killed himself jumping through the smoke. He had no vision and then gives Dignitas a free kill there, but there we go then. It's going to be the 7th round on the board with Dignitas. Pretty simple stuff from them so far, holding the map at the start, seeing what happens, seeing if there's any mid pushes, and then they just go CT spawn up to B, and it seems pretty simple for them so far, and it's going to crush the CT economy a little bit further. They did save 1 gun, so they should be able to do something with this. You can see Most of the players are on about $3,800. One gun on Maniz, but they will be forcing this. And this is a round they definitely need to win, otherwise they're going to be in a horrible situation as we enter round 9. Very simple setup from them coming as well. They like to spread their bets towards A, it seems. 2 players going in with now the fast mid. This is what I was talking about last round. A fast play from Dignitas would be perfect, just to catch them out when they're trying to adapt.
So much map control given up as MSL gets through middle unpunished. No one in CT spawn to watch it, and the player that's supposed to be looking at mid was getting ready to support inside the site from the doorway. So MSL finding him and now Maniz gives another 2-man advantage to Team Dignitas. And I dare say that aside from the 1 round Dobry managed to pick up, it's been the case time and time again that these first picks, hands down right now, are going to Dignitas. Kirby does drop the Lord on the A site, but as we've just witnessed, the bomb's gone down on B. That leaves Innocent once again toward the T-spawn, just looking to do damage for the sake of economy, but that's not going to help them at this point forward. Team Dignitas has a ton of it, and they've also got 7 rounds now on their opposition.
So that was really smart calling from MSL, right? So you do a really slow play for 4 rounds in a row, and then, like I said, you chuck in a fast round in there, and even if you go in the same area and they're trying to play passively to what you're doing, you just run straight out there. They have no idea. I think the CT came out with B with a nade in his hand. MSL took up 2 easy frags and continues their campaign on the T side. 8 for 1 now. And again, CT saving 1 gun, but they're getting themselves in a very difficult situation. My suggestion right now would be take another eco on the chin, get the dual orbs running, and then at that stage, at least you can hold off B and have 2 rifles in the middle to lock down this aggressive push that keeps coming in. Yeah, and then you have a rifle, you have a new op on long as well. But Nico again, taking his spawn, and he won't actually find anyone along, but I get some information to say the CTs haven't shown any interest here whatsoever. You probably can just take long as a team, as the CTs push off short. Meet
you again. First blood once more. To Dobry&Gaming, it's looking very good once more. The interesting thing, like you said, is that they have gone mid so many times. There hasn't been a response to it. At the 1 round where I mentioned they were looking toward that catwalk, they fell off and walked out mid again. We saw the result. Now they've got 2 players at least around the elbow on catwalk, but not necessarily toward the site just yet.
They've got the man advantage for the first time in a long time, so this is the round they need to win. They need to work out how they can lock down the T's, not give any kills away. They need to force them to plant instead of allowing them to find picks.
Oh, Innocent wasn't actually trying to hit AZ. He just pre-fired the corner, and that's where AZ was standing, looking to potentially go for a drop strat. That deters them a little bit, so they walk back to middle. Kirby's trying to get through long. Nico's run back to that position. He'll smoke. Or rather, is it going to be a flash? It is going to be a flash over from Nico toward long, but look where Lord is in this corner. He's just going to wait for this. He's not even blinded up. First, make it 2. No, the M4 can't do it. So the AK comes out as the stronger weapon. Also makes the situation more probable in the fact that the flash did catch Michu, so Pimp was easy to take him down. It leaves Innocent. He does find AZ, so a man advantage still now for Dobry, and it's going to come back, or rather, excuse me, as Dobry&Gaming do manage to close out the round. It looked like it might switch for a second there when they came down long, but that was a good hold on the platform.
Pimp getting a couple of good kills there, but the reason Dobry&Gaming won that round is actually they changed their setup, got onto short, and found the first pick. When they didn't have the best buy in the world, it's the best thing you can do, really, because you need to make sure you're taking the game to the terrorists and losing their momentum and don't allow them to do a full execute with their full buy. So that was really good. And you see them actually trying this again. Maybe this is a setup they can keep running. 2 players on short.
I don't even know if he could see him yet.
Was it through the door? Or?
It was in the crack of the door on the second shot. He just fired it as soon as he re-peeked. I'm not even sure if he knew he was there because the animation of the nade was still in play. On our screen, it didn't look as clear-cut. Perhaps in his graphic settings it was, but either way, it was a good reaction shot. So Maniz out of it, and look at that. AZ's continuing forward as Nico picks up another one on Lord. Poor old Spiro. Doesn't even know what hit his teammates, but it's about to hit him because as he walks in tunnels, Pimp is waiting in the offside corner.
Well read from Pimp, and again, that is 1 round won, and the subsequent round lost. And it's going to reset the economy for the CTs, and they are in a world of pain right now. This is going to get another 2 rounds they can't buy.
Here it is right here.
Boom.
Yeah.
So Dignitas continued their rampage. They obviously know how the economy system works as well, so they'll be playing this pretty tentatively, I'd imagine. You can see 5 players for Dobry&Gaming going towards the B-bomb site. Interesting.
Well, desperate times call for desperate measures. Let's all group up and light a campfire, sing some songs. pray to the gods, see if it works, as Dignitas Pimp's going to be the only one there. Lobbing a nade out, potentially reading that they might be pushing out of tunnels because there was a deep smoke, and now they'll push. So Pimp still is going to come under threat as the flash comes in. He's not caught by it. It works out better for the AK player against these pistols. Eventually, Innocent does find him, but AZ's already taken down Spiro in the meantime. And this push is really peculiar because they've given up middle, but Innocent and Michu are going all the way through the T-spawn away from the B site. And Dignitas have a chance to take it. Now they're going to fall off because Maniz is taking the fight to them. Innocent's now found KRB. What's the read going to be from Dignitas? A is wide open. They don't know it, but they haven't won the fight against Maniz. They basically still have to take the site through the wall. And now it's okay. Good call from Nico. He will take the bomb over to A.
I don't know why they didn't do that in the first place. Pimp called all the players, or like 3 of them pushing up a B. Just go A, surely. Don't run into where they're going to be. That was crazy. A little bit of lack of communication maybe from Dignitas. Not the call I would have made. You want to try and stay away from the CTs in that situation. But there we go. Should be a pretty easy round now. The bomb is down. No kits. Again, though, D's and Eco from D&G. They pick up 2 AKs and they can save those. Saves the economy a little bit more. Maybe they can justify a buy next round with this. So just to reiterate that point, that one Pimp is in upper B. He's holding it, anchoring the alert on the steps. 3 players push into you. That's the call, just to go up short and just get the bomb down. Like, the worst it can be is 2 people there and you've got 5 terrorists running up. So much more expensive round for Dignitas than it had to be, I feel, but round nonetheless. That's going to be number 10 for them.
Not bad at all for the first half. Pause coming in. This is called by MSL. He had issues last night. Either he or Pimp did. I'm not 100% sure which. I'm assuming this is actually MSL because he spammed in chat, perhaps frustrated that he was lagging and trying to figure out what was going on.
All the pings look okay, so maybe not a DDoS issue. Unpause. So I think we're back straight away. It's all good. But here we go then. I don't think we have. Do we have an AWP for the CTs at all? I don't think they can actually afford them.
There is no AWP. It's only Nico. With the forest green skin. It's going to be the next patch. Apparently, it's worth more than a Dragon Lore currently.
Yeah, it's happening.
But that first shot doesn't connect. It's only 1 to cross so far. So right now, a bias toward A, but they'll bring 2 over a little bit later. And in fact, they're going to go for the stack to see over top of that smoke. So I wonder if they'll read this because they haven't had that smoke out, and that is such a common play.
Really is too common, in my opinion.
Yeah, it used to be a rarity, and now it's like a default when that smoke comes in play.
The Pimp just helps himself to the B-bomb side, runs in there, locks it down, and there's no reason for the T's to even go through middle now.
And they're in reverse, rather. The T's may not need to go through middle, but the CTs choose to. They get back in and find Nico trying to rotate back into lower tunnels. That should indicate that they've gone back over to the B side, and it does, because Michu's going to work up now on that ramp and get outside the window, but bomb now planted. And AZ, another off angle to be holding. And perfectly held. His Lord's there, but there's a second player, and he's not quite expecting it. And Innocent's able to take the kill, and Michu coming in. That's a great retake. That's very well done and through the window.
Yeah, actually benefited them having those 2 players into middle. They didn't get taken down, like he said. Able to pin to the side through tunnels, really took it very nicely. Pimp getting in there so quickly into B and making that kill by himself. Bit of a risky play, but he made it work for him. And let's just have a look at the frags and where they stand so far. So Innocent there actually getting joint top kills with Nico on the server. 15 for him.
The rest of his team, though.
That's the
incredible.
problem. So the rest of his team on like an average about 2 or 3 there. But he's got 15, so he's playing out of his mind right now. But that's another round for D&G.
Tagged up. Second shot. It hits the same target. It could have been 2 potentially damaged, weakened, and gone down. Instead, it's MSL that loses his life. To go back to that boost, though, as well, how effective is it really? I can't remember the last time I've seen it really be more rewarding than it is dangerous.
It's one of the rounds you can chuck in once a half, maybe. Like, as long as D&G don't do it again, it's fine. It's just very risky. A lot of teams will check it. They'll nade it by default.
I mean, sure, you see over the smoke, you could spot them going catwalk, but like you say, you're going to get spotted up in
As soon as that smoke's down, you're just aware that it might be going on, is what is the point. So it's just one of the things you just try and catch the T's out, maybe.
Lord heard him. Definitely heard him in that smoke. So if he plays this correctly, he may find one, but that one is AZ, and AZ's already vanished. He's pushed himself down to the CT spawn. Meanwhile, though, Spiro's still finding kills. Lord's going to push around. He should have made this call. They should know AZ's there because, yeah, he knew that he was on that ledge. We saw him trying to find him, and it will be another round for Dobry&Gaming. So better late than never, but perhaps never late is better. It may just prolong the agony right now. Either way, it's 10-4, as we have another pause.
Who's in front this time? It's going to be AZ pausing.
So something going on for Diggy.
Probably some little technical issues. But just looking at the CT buy now, after all that economy management going wrong for them, they finally get the dual op set up on the last round. So they should probably take this one pretty convincingly. Look at the team money. It's not actually great for them. How many rounds did they lose in a row? Lost 2 in a row, and all the rounds have been pretty close as well. So unsurprisingly so, they're going to be on potentially Galil's, a couple of them, maybe a Tech 9. But this round should be a DNG. They're 5th on the board, and maybe that's enough for them. They take the pistol on the T side. Potentially, maybe a chance of a comeback here.
All right, okay, maybe. Just to silence the words I just spoke. Yeah, I mean, sure. Anything is possible. It ain't over till the fat lady sings, or in CS's case, he hits 16,
we've seen Dignitas have trouble closing out games sometimes.
Oh, sure, it's a Danish thing.
That's a factor here. If they got themselves in a nice position, but they lose the pistol, maybe a little bit of frustration comes in. They can't close the game out properly, and find themselves doing pushes on CT they shouldn't be committing to, or force buying too much. Definitely a possibility, especially with what we've seen from Dignitas in the last couple of months.
So waiting this out, no one's disconnected, interestingly enough. So whatever the pause call is for, if it is internet related, if it's a crash, we haven't seen an indication of that yet coming from the server. So something must be going on, perhaps in third-party program. I mean, TeamSpeak, obviously, not cheats. Need to be careful with the way I phrase that. But no, I TeamSpeak. We did actually. I think it was that was the case last night. Was that MSL had TeamSpeak lag when he was
TeamSpeak lagging or something in there.
So maybe a similar situation. Time to get a new host provider.
Well, we have one more round to go on this half. As I said, if DNG do take this one, which it looks like they probably will, not a bad half of them. It's definitely not good, but it's recoverable at this stage.
Salvageable.
Hmm.
It's a pretty knife.
Which one's that? Bennett. After one I've got.
Doppler. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mo has mine.
Yours or his?
No, well, it's mine, but he just hasn't given it to me yet.
Oh, right. One of those ones. Yeah, you can have, I've got yours as well. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one did you get me?
Just one of the best ones, but it's going to stay in my account, but we're just going to say it's yours.
Fine. Can you just name it Sadokist?
Okay. Well, that's CS you play.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I play a ton. Don't have time to play a ton, but we are still going to be sitting on pause. So first half, like you said, a lot of mid-control given up. We will take a time to. We should probably talk about the game a little bit.
Okay.
A lot of mid-control given up. Walked out.
It's the fact that Dignitas weren't being pressured at all by the CT. So when you're the better team and you have the confidence in yourself that you can just pretty much go everywhere and get the kills, they got a nice little advantage, held middle, tried to work out whether the CTs were pushing them at all. There was no pushes or any pressure really being applied. And AZ was just able to walk out middle and utilize one flashbang, and then they'd come out, smoke spawn at that stage, and just split the bomb site. It didn't seem like the CTs had a decent enough buy or setup to actually counter that. And that came even more true in the round where Dignitas literally just ran out middle at the beginning of the round. There was no adaptation. The CTs weren't trying to counter what was going on. The only time it actually started going in their favor was when they actually brought the pressure to the terrorist side. They stacked 2 on short. They pushed up at the start, killed the person in lower B. And as soon as you make that first kill, that B split's not viable anymore because they've lost a man. You can't just run up by yourself. And that's what they need to be doing more of. As soon as you start losing and the economy's slipping away from you, you need to take the game back into your own hands and adapt to it instead of sitting back and allowing the terrorists to utilize their full equipment buys and just basically just strangling you out of the map.
Well, apparently we are going to be back into the game ready to roll because things are going to get back underway. So good breakdown. Obviously some issues so far for D&G, but
they're looking stronger now, though.
Well, that's what I was about to say. We'll find out if they can get one more round potentially before the half does expire. And again, it will be a 3-1-1 setup with Innocent pushing long. Kierby might oblige him this time, which we haven't seen too much of. In fact, this particular, if we had a heat map for this match, I don't think Long would actually have that many little red dots on it, to be fair.
Well, the thing is as well, we've seen Pimp walking into B a lot by himself, and they've actually got Maniz there. The double orb setup, he's going to just be the anchor in B now, and they've got 2 players towards middle, which is good. It's got Spiro kind of backing it up, and Lord there is hoping it. So they've actually worked out what Dignitas are doing, and hopefully they can lock down this mid split. Looks like it's coming in once again. Actually, they're going up to short this time, so all 4 players are going to be going up to catwalk.
Lord, still with his crosshair firmly fixed on the fact that they could push through middle. Getting in a more passive angle is slowly putting himself in the correct position if he gets back far enough to ramp. But this is no man's land for Michu. Why does he go that far? Tries to get the nade deeper down the stairwell, but there's no read on that. It's not safe at all, and AZ makes him pay, and not only him, his teammates as well now, as Innocent and Lord have also expired. So Dignitas could hit number 11.
Yeah, definitely.
Pull a
Looks
spinal tap before the end of the half.
like turning it up to 11. Yeah, you got 2 ults to retake. It's pretty much impossible. The bomb's down. The Terror should have to do something horrific to lose that round, but very simple picks, like you said. CT caught out of position trying to get a nade off. Sometimes it's not worth it. You need to just, look at that. Pretty bad times for the CTs there. They just need to wait as well. They utilised the smoke pretty nicely. I think he thought he was safe because he just dropped the smoke. He assumed that he wouldn't push through that. He saw it as a little fortress for himself, but
Easy's caught up to Nico now as well.
he's been playing pretty well. He's been getting a lot of entry fouls. Be interested to see how many first kills he's got going into the real stats at the end of the game.
Yeah, I completely agree.
But 11-4, decent half from Dignitas, and they did win the pistol and take the 3 rounds after it, so it's a reason why D&G got shot out of that one pretty quickly, but no reason why they can't win the T-pistol themselves. I think the T-pistol definitely does favour that side, just because you're able to just do something very simple, like a B split, something very fast, where the TCs may not be able to stack. They can't really go every single area. My advice for a CT team is pushing off short as 2 men. It seems to be the best thing to do in this current climate. When you can push off short, you can at least get some information and potentially a kill as well. And if you don't spot anyone lower B or top or middle, you can kind of assume it's going to be a long or a straight up B. So that's the best thing to do, I think, as CT right now. You play 1 guy on top of the A bomb side, launching long, 2 guys in the B, and then these 2 guys pushing short.
I understand your school of thought, and I totally agree with you in a perfect world, but isn't that such a risk play still at times? Because
You have to take
not
the
only
risk.
that, I mean, the current meta is that you are going to stack toward long because there was a lot of fights there. Obviously, that's been nullified, and now we're back to that mid control. But it's
basically, the idea is you can't. You have to, when you have the USP, you have to spread. You have to invest in some part of the map. Middle is the best place to do, because obviously that's the access to catwalk, it's access to middle double doors, and you can see lower B as well. So you can gain 3 pits of information there just by pushing that one area, and it's quite a safe bet as well. The Glocks aren't really going to one kill you from that range.
From that range, yeah.
So
but unless they drop suicide and they're on top of the catwalk
absolutely.
already.
So
but then again, you have the read
you
for
split it. A CT will spot up to suicide as he's crossing, so he'll be able to call for you as to what's going on. So that's why I think is the best setup. Like it's done a lot. Kingwin do it as well. They push up on the shore, get 2 guys, just face up. Then they utilize their godlike aims and take down a couple of players normally. But let's see how Dignitas react to this. Will they do something like that? You can see 4 sets of armor on them. Nico will be taking the defuse kit, and it looks like the boost will be coming up short. So
not only 1 but 2.
I know what I'm talking about, Matt.
Oh, I never said you didn't. I just wanted to further the point.
Yeah, that's good.
As Lord wants to go down long right now. Nico's the one that's waiting. No one at car. A little bounce flash off the box. Meniz is in a great spot, so that cat push does work out. They get all the way around, and now they're going to trap them. They're going to come from either side at long. They're on the platform, though, and that bomb is looking to get planted, but it's still not quite yet in the position to be comfortably doing so. Oh, that's a problem. Michu can't even get it to even try it as it falls over the edge of the wall.
So, obviously, the counter to that, full up rush long, but you always will have 1 player there. And when you have the silence USP on the bomb site, you've got so much cover, and you can just pixel face and go for 1 bullets, and then obviously the USP can kill people in 1 shot. And actually, Pimp actually retake this from the CT spawn area. Did he get 2 kills here? That's the problem right there. The bomb getting dropped in that situation, that's where it went horribly wrong. That's always a big factor when you push up on the A bomb site. The bomb can just fly out of their pockets when they die like that. So that's when the round fell apart for them. But it's not going to be a forced buy from D&G here. Probably the right call, seeing as they didn't get a bomb down. They maybe can do Galil's and Armor next round if they wanted to. They can get a couple of kills there, but CT is playing pretty tentatively now. Not committing too much, just holding the bomb sites.
Easy. Very well done. AZ, the 3rd one. That was a bit random, but he'll take it. Kierby says, that's enough from you. I don't want you getting any more of my kills, so a nade goes out to eventually take down AZ. Unfortunate team kill, but it's not like AZ didn't do his job, because Meniz now realizing things are rapidly out of his control. And not only that, it was the 3 kings for AZ. The first brought gold in the fact of kills. The second brought frankincense, and the third brought a bomb. So that means Meniz is a little bit in trouble.
That classic 3rd gift.
Yeah, that's always the best one, isn't it?
Well, here we go. Meniz, your last man remaining.
I'm going to tell you a story about that after.
There's a story to go with it?
There's a story about that. That's one of my
Is it,
favorite.
is it the one from the Bible? Or?
No, well, it's the Ken Robinson story. Have you heard that version?
No.
Should we talk about it now? Is this round's essentially
How long
over?
is the story?
It probably should wait. Manise is going to come through. He'll pick up one more.
Interesting though.
He could have picked up the bomb on the way by initially, and he chose not to. But it comes back to a one-on-one, and there's 13 seconds, so he has to go right now. And Pimp knows it. He'll push on top of him. So we go into our split cam one-on-one. That bomb making it down just in time. So Manise has a chance, but Pimp's on top of it. Good read by him to know that time was such that if he got there fast enough, there would be no setup from Manise. That was definitely interesting.
That was a really nice, crisp kill from Pimp at the end there. Had he not hit that shot, could have been devastating for them. But obviously, huge round for D&G. And the fact they got so many kills and a bomb down as well justifies the AK buy. So even if they didn't win the round, this one, after getting so many kills, you have to favor them in. 5 AKs for them, but a very distinct lack of smoke grenades. So anything they do is going to have to be quite fast. Potentially just getting out long, quick would be good, or straight up to short. That could work as well with the CTs now, leaving middle open and trying to play a more passive game. Like I said, you can't really smoke off any choke points, you can't flush out the bomb side Molotov, so they need to find some picks and see what they can do with it. Not doing anything too aggressive so far.
Nico looking through CT, has the job to cover off Catwalk with only the scout. They need to bring someone back to help him out because MSL may still have company at long as Innocent is waiting outside of the cave. And in fact, Nico's going to give up Catwalk, and as soon as he does, that's where they go. So D&G with the entry, it's Spiro to take down Nico. Bomb will get planted safely for Catwalk, as they still do, at this point, have that control, and they'll keep that control because Dignitas all looking to head through CT spawn. Spiro is having a heck of a round for himself, already 3 kills. Kirby getting a double back in exchange, and he almost gets taken down by that spray through the smoke. It doesn't end up connecting, but Innocent's waiting for it back at mid.
And yeah, that's a round, like I said, you had to favor the teasing considering the guns they had. Spiro, though, doing all the work. He picks up 3 frags and ultimately gets them the round. So that's the first one of this half. 2-1 currently on this side. And they should be able to pick up a couple more as well. So you can see the CTs won't be able to buy this round or the next round. So potentially 2 in a row coming in if D&G play their cards right. Doesn't look like Dignitas will be investing too much into this round. A P250 and a Desert Eagle. But no stack either. So they're just playing pretty standard setup. And the T's making their way out of the long.
And only spotted by 1 initially, but MSL was already working his way to pit. He's gone very low on HP. Hits up another dink, though, so MSL definitely doing a heck of a job with that pistol for Team Dignitas. As now it will be Dobry&Gaming working down long A. Pimp's going to be on the platform. He looks for the repeak. Gets information, but not a kill. How does Spiro react as he pushes forward onto Game Changer? And he'll look down towards CT spawn. It's going to be the first shot coming out of that AK. Not able to connect on Nico, but again, information given that they are now rotated over to A. And the bigger problem still is that Kirby is trying to pinch them and hold them. So they don't have to rotate off this, although Nico is. A bit peculiar that he is, because he could have just stayed on A. In fact, he goes Catwalk. Perhaps just wanting to make sure that there's not going to be anyone in a different position. And now they've got all 3 angles covered, but they don't necessarily get the kills. Michu finding 2, and Manise was waiting, as we saw the whole time, for Kirby to arrive.
So again, CTs really shouldn't buy here. They can probably justify a few P250s, a bit of some smokes maybe. But look how many rounds they've got on the board. They just need to close this one out in the first gun round. So they will be taking the smart routes. Few pistols. Wouldn't be surprised if they stack this time. But again, it looks like the terrorist's going to take advantage of that long spawn. And they're going to find Nico there with P250. He should be taken down.
Should is the operative word. It's not always a guarantee because he's now fallen back in far enough position that he's gone towards CT spawn, and that gives him his life to spare. But it is AZ that's found the first kill. He's gone low on HP, but MSL finding a double gives them a chance here to get 14. But not if Michu has anything to do about it. Michu with 4 incredibly quick kills out of the AK. Now he puts the bomb down. We saw him save it in that 1 versus 3 to at least allow them another buy, which they went on to win. He's now given them this round, plus an assist as well on Pimp. That's incredible.
Yeah, amazing stuff from him. What a recovery from Michu. Let's just have a look at that, how that went down. So just headshots everywhere in this round. Very calm shooting. Everyone looking at him as well. Everyone that faces him gets absolutely wrecked. And he does the damage there as well. That could have been an ace pretty easily. So
that would have been an incredible good ace. Like, all of those shots were pretty damn quick and at a decent range.
And looks like T is once again going out this long passage, and they've got the orb this time. Should favour them, actually. He misses the shot narrowly just above his shoulder. Oh, Nico's going to be pretty glad he didn't get taken down there. That was so close. But both players surviving. The T's actually getting a double orb set up themselves here. But this is when Dignitas have done a full buy. And you, considering their setup, I would have thought they were going to do something a little bit more aggressive, but they are locking down the mid area, focusing on that. AZ is so strong in this position.
Smoke on the mid doors, and yeah, like you say, AZ's on the other side of it, so he's in a decent spot. And so far, no utilities wasted or deployed against them. That gives the T's more time to consider their options, as time is still of the plenty. It's just hit now into the 2 digits, down to 58 seconds. And here comes the first deployment. It's the smoke at CT. Double flash coming out from B from the counter terrace because they anticipate a push through it. That hasn't happened. And as MSL gets that call, he realizes that there's more potential, that they're working back onto him. And Nico is going to get caught and somehow stays alive. I thought for sure that flash would be the end of him, but the nade will be. But MSL's here, and MSL with the double in the last round can only find single this time. And Lord taking up on Michu's offer to get another kill after the assist damage was already thrown out means that it's now a 4 versus 2 with the A site once again given up and a save coming for Team Dignitas.
Yeah, pretty simple stuff, and them holding up for quite a long time. The long retake coming in. Of course, MSL playing there by himself. Nico did come to back up, but he got caught out with a flashbang jumping into the pit, and he got taken down before even MSL did. So maybe did the setup from them. They should have just been playing one down long, and then Nico could have stayed alive on the A-bomb site and it's helped him out as people were jumping to the pit to get him out, hunt him out, sorry. But that's another round on the board for D&G, and they are actually approaching these rounds pretty effectively. The double orb setup seems to be working for them. CT's trying to save now. One on B round, people will take down Innocent, but really convincing stuff so far. Let's just have a look at the CT money now. They lost 4 in a row now. You know, I didn't think it was that bad yet, but it's going to lead the CTs on a pretty difficult economic situation. KRB saving an M4. They can force a buy here. But so far, they're making the same mistakes D&G did. They're sitting back and allowing the picks to happen and then waiting to be executed on. So let's see. They know the double orb setup's here. This is the perfect time to do a little push into B tunnels, perhaps.
As we see AZ now leading the way with the kills. Minis firmly fixes his scope upon the wasteland that is Catwalk because there's no one there. Lord now realizing that from lower because he can spot at least to the corner. But Vincent finding MSL gives an opening pick, and Nico's taken some damage. So you said that this was a possibility of a comeback if they could pick up a few rounds in the economy in their favor. That's definitely what's happening now. This is by no means done yet for Team Dignitas, who on the CT side are getting outmatched right now. Good spot initially by Shapiro, but Nico able to close it. Nico able to also get a second, tries to swap out the gun because he's quickly running out of bullets, but it's caught in the process. And now it's Innocent that will catch Pimp rotating back over to try and do something desperately of it.
So they went for a kill at long, flashed someone in, got taken out straight away. Really nice read from D&G. The answer back from Dignitas, as most CT teams will do, they're pushed into upper B tunnels to try and get some positional control back. That was Pimp pushing up, he got taken down by Lord. And then it's the right ideas from Dignitas, but with the force buys and Famises and stuff, that's getting outshot right now. And a great aimplay from D&G. The AWP seems to be working very well for them. Spiro picking up some decent frags. But yeah, like you said, momentum's coming in the favour of D&G, and that's 5 in a row for them now. And it's going to be another eco for Dignitas. They have got a scout on Pimp, but a big shot from AZ taking down Spiro. That's the AWP player.
And just getting that AWP to get back into safety as well, because we saw Innocent was coming back out, realizing that there was someone in that position. Pimp's now got Michu. The headshot from the scout. The second one on Lord also doing damage, so he's down to 30. This gives MSL a lot better chance with the CZ75. He'll hold B. Lord has bomb. He's going to go back out to join Innocent at mid, but we've already seen what AZ can do and what AZ's picked up for a weapon.
Yeah, still a lot of time on the board. 1 minute remaining. They have got the bomb and T-spawn as well, so they need to work out where they're going to go with this, whether they split the site or they stay together. It's going to be Innocent leading the way. Looks like he's heading towards a short area. Of course, AZ is waiting there with the AWP, but he kind of changes his mind now and goes towards long. Let's see how this one works out. They need to start moving pretty quickly soon. 30 seconds on the clock. They won't even get to the long corner until about the 20-second mark, and then they really have to commit to the bomb site.
And now they'll go along. AZ, his spidey senses tingle. He's going to look back from Catwalk again with that op that he picked up, and thank you very much. You've met the weapon of your demise, gifted to me from you. It is going to be 2 kills for AZ and 14 rounds now for Dignitas.
Yeah, obviously very difficult, and we can watch the whole map and see how they were set up, but when you've given up the AWP and you force yourself down with the clock like that, I would have suggested they had to just go a little bit faster when there was nothing left. But here we go, is that one dig we missed before. Great positioning by AZ, and then finishing it off like this. His second shot, I thought he had no chance of making, but look at that. I had to look like wait for the wall, but
yeah, that's
strong
lovely.
shots.
Remember in 1.6 when you would yell "enter, please" about that?
Didn't play 1.6. But
that's true. You were a source player. Yell _ enter 0. Scale _ enter 1. It's over 9,000. Smoke going out. Interestingly on Xbox, that'll allow them actually to push up Catwalk a lot safer. So Lord's able to throw that, get in behind it and use it to spam in toward mid as well, to no avail. There's no one waiting for it, but AZ's coming back through CT spawn. So then they now go down to a 2-1-2 with a long split of car and long. So there's no one on the platform specifically.
This is better though. Look at Nico. He's got the AWP on the car setup. This is much.
It's such a good spot.
Better, I think. They actually can allow the T's have to commit a lot further before they find a kill. So.
And he can control the peak by doing that because there's no cover for the T's.
And MSL, he died here before. This very aggressive setup along.
This is going to have a lot of pressure on it too. As we see it on the right side, camera, and he pulls it off. He picks up 2. Now it's Nico who has to respond and figure out exactly where the remaining terrorists are. It's actually AZ that spotted them there on Catwalk. And the shot, this first and the second, AZ very well composed to take down Maniz. Both him and MSL having a great round.
Crazy round from MSL. That timing, though. Perfect flashbang. Everyone in that long corridor flashed out of their minds. Comes around, gets 2 M4 kills, pulls out the IKEA pistol and finishes it off the last one with no pressure at all, really. And that gets him in touching distance of winning this map. And what a round to do it. Amazing stuff. Let's just have another quick look at that. This flash, though, that is just perfect. Look at them all, munching away on the wall. Pistol comes out, simple stuff. And now, let's jump back into normal round. See, Dignitas have picked up the first frag. It's going to be Nico taking out Innocent. And looks like that's going to shut down the terrorists quite a lot. They've got no control, really, apart from in middle, where Maniz has got out the double doors. I'm not sure Pimp is aware of it. He's not, and he gets taken down and stabilizes this round for DNG.
Yeah, stabilization is a solid word for it because now they can spread back out and start working the picks. Lord will do exactly that. He's going to drop the bomb on Catwalk and investigate a little bit further. Nico, meanwhile, is coming back again. Put that op on Car and MSL in the position of beauty from the last round at long. As Kirby's in B and AZ will watch from CT, and that's where the first blood should come forward. Or the next blood, as it would be. 4-on-4 Maniz now flashing out. AZ, you called it his spot earlier, but Sparrow's caught on that it is.
Everyone knows.
And he absolutely obliterates him with that deagle. Kirby picking up the second. That second one was actually pretty impressive. So quickly shot down before Spiro got him. Could have actually gone the other way, and this gives MSL a very large problem that he has to rotate all the way over. Does have the fact that Micho's on 1 HP. That helps considerably, but he's not going to be taking that initial fight, and in fact, he almost loses it already because the flash comes out right when he takes the peek, and Spiro was doing the same. So, bye-bye. See you later. I'll keep my M4. We'll do battle, or rather AK as it is now.
Micho
we'll do battle next round.
Surviving on 1 HP after that exchange of MSL on long. So he did pretty well to even get a frag out of that round. Hid in the smoke, waited for Nico to rotate through it, and obviously with the AWP was unable to find a kill there, but that was obviously huge. And MSL does survive the AK-47, but 5 more to go from DNG. Can they hold on? As they actually question the CT money now, do they need to force buy this? It looks like they're going to. They can afford an AWP, it's not the end of the world. Nico, just having a look at the scoreboard, he's been doing pretty well actually. 18 kills with him. AZ leading the charge, 24 kills. He's been really stepping up. And Nico getting boosted up on the short. This is good. This is a nice way to close the game out. Get the first pick, surprise the T's, and looks like we're coming all the way to top of mid.
You may have shown a little bit of bias there, thinking that perhaps, or not bias rather, but fate to say that it's over that quickly.
Well,
good way to close the game.
It could have been. It was a nice idea. I liked it.
Back to a 3-2. No one directly in mid. Michu, Lord, Maniz are all now gathering. Spiro going to join them inside mid. But They haven't yet committed. Michu slowly going to push on that catwalk, but initial flash, just one flash coming out from AZ, and he feels hesitant. There's also a smoke at the top of the stairwell, so back to mid they go because he doesn't feel comfortable, doesn't have that confidence to round the corner on catwalk, and Pimp misthrowing his own flash means that his initial play doesn't quite work out, so he deploys the smoke instead. It is Kierby, meanwhile, though, to pick up the first kill, so the push already losing strength. Running out of gas. 5/4 of a tank left, and that's slowly going to change now down to just 3 as Pimp picks up his second kill, but Spiro's come back into it. Michu again, always a threat, but leave Pimp alive, and you've got a problem inside the B site. Michu might perhaps be the bigger problem because one more time he'll get a bomb plant out of this, leaving it in the very middle of the site as well, as MSL and Nico have to rotate. He knows they have to come from middle, and Nico's just going to watch to make sure he doesn't leave that platform. And the second he does, if MSL is close enough, he'll be on top of it, but a good flashbang means Nico falls off that position. So where does MSL peek when he goes through? Manages to get inside the window, but it's all done. Nico's going to get the trade kill. Michu does his best efforts, but it's not enough this time.
Yeah, it's D&G having a pretty fantastic half. They've got 5 in a row to kick things off for them, and it looked like there may have been a chance for that last round. Unfortunately, slipped away from them, and it's going to be 16-10. So that was actually closer than I thought it was going to be. Like, after the first half, I thought the Dignitas had done enough. It was way too much, but strong comeback, getting 5 rounds on the board, but yeah, Dignitas do take the first one, and that's a result I think we did expect here, but it was a good game nonetheless. It could have potentially gone a bit further.
It could have gone a bit further. It also could have been closed out at times when you saw Michu pick up that 4K, which was nuts. That was a 5-on-2. Really cool. Yeah. There was a lot of individual skill. And again, the last round, Michu almost doing it again. He seemed to step up in a lot of cases, so that was, I mean, remember, it was 11-4 at half. That was pretty impressive that they got back that far. Now, my story.
Right.
So, oh yeah, well, we'll do this first, and then we'll come back to it. So AZ led the way, 24 kills, 12 of which were headshots, so 50% headshot rate. Death 17, it's not bad, on par pretty much with everyone. But the first kills, this is what I was talking about in the first half when it was 11-4. So they have 7 first kills total. MSL has 6 alone.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that's impressive.
That's a high, considering everyone else is like on a 4. It's doing pretty well there. But here we go, it's your MVP. It's going to be AZ. The 24 frags we just mentioned. He played very well that game. It's Dust2. Although in that CT half he plays that one box, you know, the AZ box called it. I think a lot of people are aware he's playing it. He's getting shut down there a bit more now. He still is very good on the CT half. He always brings out big results, but can't take it away from anything from the Polish guys are doing. Some really impressive individual play from them. Yeah.
So now I can do the story real quickly.
How long is it going to take?
It's pretty quick.
Time is pretty important.
Oh, shut up. We have a break to wait for them. You can sit here and listen to me gabber on. So the gold, frankincense, and myrrh thing, this actually comes from a Ken Robinson speech, which I really recommend everyone go watch. It's a TED Talk about problems with current education and thwarting creativity and how children aren't scared to make mistakes, but as adults we develop anxiety and don't take chances.
Okay.
And the story he alludes to, there's plenty of examples, but this one's kind of funny. They were at a Christmas pageant, and the kids came, he assumed, slightly out of order. So one came out and said, I bring you gold. And one came out and said, I bring you myrrh. And then the one who came out was supposed to bring frankincense said, Frank sent this. And just left it and walked off the stage. But the kid would have never figured it out. If an adult made that mistake, he would be embarrassed. So it was actually a good story.
So what was the relevance there to what we were
Well, I made the gold, frankincense, and the bomb.
I see what you're doing.
Yeah, so
Well,
there you go. Learn with Sadokist. We'll take a break. We'll come back. It's map 2. What is map 2 again? Enlighten me. Cash. Thank you very much. We'll see you there as it is Dignitas up 1 already. That allows MSL to get inside the doorway now, looking for 2, and I'm surprised he actually picked up first short flash on purpose just to pop differently, so it's not as visible because they did the exact same thing, and MSL gets the exact same result. Different victims this time. Yeah. It's not Michu.
Play from Innocent was actually really good. The CT player in spawn took away all the attention. He pops out, picks up 2 huge frags, and boosts things up a little bit. Dignitas now, they're in a position that they can do another Hail Mary play. They know they've got the CTs against the road, they're on about $3,800, 1 gun on the knees, but they will be forcing this. And this is a round they definitely need to win, otherwise they're going to be in a horrible situation.
Sure, if he knew he was there because the animation of the nade was still in play. On our screen it didn't look as clear cut, perhaps in his graphic settings as well.
To retake, it's pretty much impossible. The bomb's down, the terrorists would have to do something horrific to lose that round. But actually, Pimp actually retook this from the CT spawn area. Did he get 2 kills here? That's the problem right there. The bomb getting dropped.
Low on HP, but MSL finding a double gives them a chance here to get 14. but not if Michu has anything to do about it. Michu with 4 incredibly long again with that op that he picked up, and thank you very much. You've met the weapon of your demise. Gifted.